What up, adventurers? We are back at the cottage. Ooh, look at that. Weather's a bit grey today, so we are going to be painting the final box set of Sláine. It is the animal pack, so let's get into it. So, just like that, we have reached the final kit for this wonderful game system that sadly didn't survive long enough, in my opinion. But here we are on the animals. This is going to be a quick and dirty painting video. It's all speed paints. I'm not going to go above and beyond on these because these are creatures you summon in game. You don't spend points on them. You manage to summon them through boon cards, I believe. So I'm not going to go above and beyond on these. Very quick and dirty for us today. But here's a quick description of the main stuff. So the god of the animals and the forest is Carnun, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, lord of beasts. Just as nature is both beautiful and cruel, this god cannot be considered as good or evil, but as an elemental force that must be reckoned with and appeased. Both the earth tribes and the Drunes offer worship to him, and in reply, the god may send his beast minions to do the bidding of a petitioner. However, he may dispatch beasts and great antlered stags to gorge and trample the foe, but then he may also send creatures like wolves, badgers and porcupines that can be a threat in numbers, but pretty much stat-wise they're not that scary, whereas they can also send snakes, toads and smaller minions to overwhelm the enemy. Now this kit, in my opinion, is weird. We only get a bear, a wolf, a warthog and a porcupine. Yeah, that's not a lot. So the bear represents obviously the biggest creature that you can get on the card. That one you only need one creature, so the bear covers it, but he is the only one. They talk about stags. It would have been nice to have got a stag, but we didn't. The wolves, warthog, I'm going to guess are medium-sized creatures, but we ideally need a third one. And the way the description of this set talks about it actually makes the wolf sound smaller, so maybe he goes with the porcupine, and that's just a set of 3, but then we're missing swarms. Where are the rats? Where are the toads? I feel like this set is not complete. This seems to be a reoccurring theme on this game, that they don't complete the sets. Don't get enough figures in the game, like we didn't get Drunes, which was also annoying. But hey, we'll see. Right, with that description over, let's get into the painting. So, everything was primed black, nice and simple. My go-to scheme, I then hit it up with the golden maple fair skin and gave everything a nice dry brush with the army painter. I used the thicker brush to begin with because that just made it easier to wipe over everything. Then afterwards with a smaller brush I picked out things like the legs just to make my life easier, and then on the faces of all the creatures, anything that was fleshy, I purposely went in with a harder coat just to brighten it up. And then after that step, I started the painstaking task of trying to pick out all the fleshy areas using the Army Painter Crusader skin tone. Oof, some of these creatures, it's hard to paint. Like the sculpts, some of them are great. The bear looks great, the wolf looks great. I think the porcupine's face could have been a lot better. And as you've probably seen in the dry brushing stage, also using some Reaper Bones miniatures, which were made out of a weird white PVC. I was hoping that would help boost up the animal numbers. But yeah, the material is weird. For the most part, I'm using earthy brown notes. I'm going to try and not repeat colours too much across the range, but we'll see how this goes. I've got a nice mix of creatures and a nice mix of browns, so hopefully we can do a good job with this. I think we've painted enough of the flesh shade now. Right, so grabbing the bear first, we are going to do dark wood. This is the darkest brown I have in my speed paints, and it just goes on really nicely. In my brain, I'm thinking grizzly bear. I'm not entirely sure, as this game is meant to be set in like a young island, what the bears of Ireland look like. I know back in the day Europe had bears. I assume they are the ancestors to the brown bear, or a grizzly maybe, so I'm thinking dark brown Could have gone black maybe, but I think a nice dark brown would have been cool. So that's what I'm going with. Also was tempted to do a panda, but I thought that would be a bit too silly. Up next, I decided to tackle the porcupine. I gotta get it right. And I'm going to use the runic grey on this one. So I was looking at pictures of porcupine. They're quite dark in some areas, and then their tails lighten up. So I'm going to use the runic grey on the ends of his pines. Pines? I don't know, porcupine. Makes me want to say pines. But I guess they're spines. Nice spiky bits. So I'm just going to go around getting all the end sections. Not too worried if I overflow anywhere, because I'm going to use the darker Warlord Grey on this model as well. So I'm just going to capture all these end parts. Hopefully this dries pretty light. I've added a little bit thinner to it to help that along. He does have a lot of them, so I'm trying to work out where I should be going. And as you can see, I'm filming at the cottage, so my camera angle is once again a little bit wonky for this video. Hope you don't mind. It's probably a good time to say like, comment, subscribe, do the call to action. Any support you can show this channel or any of the other fellow creators out there is always well appreciated. And I do truly thank you for watching these videos. Right, I had some runic grey left over, so I decided to tackle what I think is a wild dog. It looks a bit small for a wolf. Could be terribly wrong, it could be a wolf, so going with a nice safe grey colour for this one. And we're just going to work our way around the face. You get a nice picture of my knuckles for this. And we're going to cover it all in the runic grey. I'm going to hold the tail so I don't get in a mess with it. And then after that, we grab the Warlord Grey. Now, plus side of this cottage is that it doesn't have aircon, which means this place is boiling hot and the paint is drying real quick. Luckily, I'm using a plastic Ziploc bag as my painting palette rather than the army painter case, because I tried using that earlier, but the paint was drying up real quick on that, and I found these Ziploc bags weirdly keep the paint flowing for longer, so that's what we're doing. And with this Warlord Grey, I'm going to cover the Warlord Games wolf completely in it, head to toe. Nothing fancy here. Like I said, I don't want to spend a ton of time on these. I don't foresee me using them much in game. I've read the rules a few times. They're not an exciting unit. I've painted them more because there is a chance they might get used in game. But as they're not part of an army list per se, they turn up when summoned instead. I can't see me using them that often unless I get the card or the ability, so I just want them painted off to the side. It's a shame that this is how the series is going to end. Obviously I got 2 more battle reports coming in, but the fact that this is going to be my last Sláine painting video actually makes me a little sad. We're now moving on to what is my favourite model in this set, the little warthog. He's so cute. I decided to go with sand golem. Not entirely sure why. I was looking at pictures of wild boars. They're kind of brown. I used the dark wood on the bear, which made more sense. I'm going to use the hardened leather on the bear cub that I have from Reaper Miniatures. So I was kind of just left with the sand golem for the warthog. Hopefully it works. You can tell me later when you see the photographs. But yeah. So after this, I have 2 more battle reports for Sláine to do. Not entirely sure when I'll get around to them. So that is going to be part of my future plans. Doing battle reports is very time consuming. And right now I don't have a lot of free time. So I'm going to be concentrating on painting stuff, doing quick and dirty unboxings, talking about 2nd edition 40k. But after the Sláine, I've got 2 ABC Warrior paint jobs left to do. And then we'll be fully back into Judge Dredd and the Spillways. And yeah, Sector 102 is going to be the main theme for this channel for the rest of the year. So I'm hoping you're going to lock in and keep sharing the fun on that. Hopefully by the time you're seeing this video as well, my competition will be underway. I've had a few entries. Luckily, I wasn't swamped. I was a little bit worried that I might get swamped. Turns out, it was my die-hard fans that entered, and I'm so grateful to them, and I can't wait for the winner to be chosen. So if you want to go check out the community tab, I should have a poll up and running by now, which will allow you to vote for the winner of a gift voucher. And yeah, I'm just so grateful for my coffee club members, guys over on Discord, and of course the regulars who are constantly checking in on this channel and sending me messages. It means the world to me, and you can't appreciate how much it actually means to me. So I'm so happy to celebrate this way with you for hitting the 2k follower. I think at the time of recording this, we're actually at 2,040 followers, which is crazy. If you all were sat in a room with me right now, that's a massive room. I would also be shy as anything. So thank you very much for all hitting that subscribe button. I know it doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things, but I am truly appreciative of it. The fact that you guys want to sit and listen to me whilst I'm painting. And with that, we're finished. So there's the grizzly bear. There's the sand golem warthog. I really like him. I think he turned out great. A little honey badger. This one's a Reaper Bones miniature. Then we have the bear cub from Reaper Bones that I did in hardened leather. We got the Gravelord Grey Wolf, which he's quite stunning. We've got the, I think it's a little wolf. I'm going to say it's a little wolf that I did in the runic grey. My cheeky little porcupine with his quills. Quills, that's what it was. And there's the group shot. As always, I appreciate you stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in another video again real soon. Cheers for watching.